Voice of the underground. Voice of the underground. Promoting indie artists is our mission.
I'm here, right? Finally.
Let your music be heard. Welcome to another bumper edition of the Morgis Podcast. Jay on the Morgis Podcast.
Dudes try to get me, ladies try to be sexual.
Cause black is beautiful. I make music for lovers. I make music for pain. I make music for heroes, dreamers, believers, and slaves.
It's Saudi.
On the spotlight,
once
baby!
again.
Baby! Yeah!
Let your voice be heard too. Visit morgis.com for more info. Holla, 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 holla. What's cooking now?
What's cooking now?
Yeah.
Like, what do you call it?
What's up, people? Welcome to another bumper edition of your favorite show, Voice of the Underground, on the Morgis Podcast. Today, Delta DeLeo is in the house.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, man.
Thank you.
We've been seeing you around, a couple of hard work and everything, and for the first time, on the Morgis Podcast, we're actually hanging out with a superstar with an award that I can actually lay my hands on,
Yeah.
LIMA Awards 2019,
Yeah.
Best Reggae Artist. Congratulations. Tell us more about this award.
Well, yeah, I really didn't expect to bring this one home, but it's actually a good feeling that, people got to vote. The people that actually listen to my music got to vote. And also being the only female in the category was actually like really nerve-wracking, because I checked some of the artists and it was like they were really dope, So for me to also win in a category that I was just barely experimenting, because I usually, am known for hip-hop, R&B and dance music. So doing reggaeton or experimenting with the song really got me doing more. I mean, the single is also, just landed a distribution deal with Content Connect Africa. Wow. It also has a collaboration actually with an artist from the United States by the name of Nile Tabas. It's also featured on a Coast to Coast mixtape alongside Snoop Dogg and Vybz Kartel.
Wow.
So yeah, man, it was
the
just
circle is getting big.
Yeah. I mean, you never think on a mixtape your song would be selected with one of the big giants in rap being Snoop Dogg and one of the good godfathers of reggae and dance music being Vybz Kartel. So that for me was like, yeah, I'm on the right track.
Wow.
Strange.
Which means you think, like I said before, things are turning around, things are working out for good, and the wheel is spinning around, in the favor of Delta DeLeo. I mean, man, this must have been a year, and maybe, hopefully, you've already penned a couple of things, for 2020 or something.
Definitely.
Any secret that you want to let us know quickly?
I wouldn't say it's a secret per se, but I am planning an African tour.
Oh, wow.
As I mentioned that,
African tour.
From the start of my music career, I've always noticed that it's countries out there like Ghana, Nigeria, Congo, Zimbabwe, like really African countries are showing me love. So instead of planning an international tour first, I think for me it will make sense for me to understand my African roots by going into African countries and collaborating. I mean, before HP passed on, I had the pleasure of actually collaborating with a Kenyan artist by the name of Wangechi and working with the producer by the name of Provoke from Kenya. I mean, the current producer that recorded the song is also not from South Africa. So this just shows that I work with so many producers that are from different African countries, Luanda, Congo, Nigeria, to just name a few.
In your team, man.
Yeah, so I've gotten a few requests from like Tanzania and Namibia. So things like that show that, there's an interest for me to go out there and collaborate with other artists and also let them know what I'm doing on this side, because at the end of the day, I'm a child to the African soil, and it's just meant to grow.
Awesome. So it's nice to spread your wings,
Definitely.
Across the border.
Yeah.
Get associated,
Yeah.
Get some, get some kind of international.
It also just comes from I got to go to Maputo this year, but due to the weather constraints, I wasn't able to perform.
Right.
But it also just shows that the more you get yourself exposed to other countries, also understand that, language is not even a barrier. People just appreciate good music.
Let me come back to your genre switch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reggae music. And you actually, you get an award for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, how was it easy for you to navigate between hip hop and reggae music?
I just, it's just weird how I don't even know when I get into the studio what gets over me. It's almost like, an energy or force says, tell your story this way, and to even mention that, the song has a remix with an artist from the United States. We haven't met physically, but we communicated through the net, and he was like, I like the beat, so how about we do something? And we merged the song so beautifully that it worked well.
Wow.
But I've always had a love for dance hall, especially being a dancer. So the reggaeton music or the dance hall music or the culture of how reggae music has grown, because a lot of people might not hear the tone or the dialect of what they're saying, because they speak a little bit different to an English or a Bedi or a Zulu song, but somehow you enjoy reggae music because it always talks about or gives a message in the music itself.
Awesome, man. Delta Delio, you're always breaking it down like that. I know you from the start. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
So now, Delta, let me put some straight. You all right?
Yeah.
With every success in every business or in every sporting code and everything, we've got critics, we've got haters, and we've got the lovers and everybody, the fans and everybody coming through. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when I read somewhere that one of the critics says that it was easy for you to scoop a reggae award just because reggae is not that big in South Africa. What do you say to that?
I believe that, not everyone knows everything, and that's a sad reality.
Right.
Just because people don't understand the genre, they catch on late. I mean, you can think about the likes of, if we think about how jazz is actually quite big because it goes way back. Same thing as reggae. Reggae goes all the way back to our ancestors, where you listen to the influence of the bongo drums, because a dancehall or reggae comes from poetry.
Exactly.
You also think about the culture, because it's not just reggae is not just the music. There's a culture. There's the Rastafarian culture that is practiced. So it depends on which book you look at it. At the end of the day, I believe that I'm telling a story through music. I've always loved the influence of reggae, and that's why one of my trips is wanting to go to Jamaica and understand, how Jamaican artists make it big that side. I mean, I listen to there's actually a young Jamaican artist that I listen to. I'm trying to remember her name because now I'm just gone blank. But basically, she talks about her being young and these pressures around her, but also mentioning how being and doing reggae music has been influenced by the greats that have come before her. So it's the same thing where when you listen to music, whether you're listening to people like your Benny Man or you're listening to Vibes Cartel, they're just different artists, Bob Marley. They're different people that you can listen to and reference your music to want to give a message to listeners. So people thinking a genre is not big, is it because of where you are? Because you think about hip hop. When I listened to hip hop back in the day when Missy just dropped, and you look at the youth that's listening to Missy now. I grew up dancing to Missy. Now it's different. I look up to Missy in the sense of I make music now. So did we think that hip hop was big in SA? Probably wasn't big. People used to look at me weird, And we also look at our hip hop groups that came way back when. I'm talking your Squatter Camp, your Hidden Force, all of those groups. We never thought that they would be big or hip hop would be big.
Exactly.
But fast forward to a decade or a couple of decades now, we understand what hip hop is about. We have hip hop art. I mean, I had the pleasure of shaking Young M.A.'s hand when she came to perform at the Castle Light event. I never thought that, I watched Young M.A. on YouTube videos.
And you look like her anyway.
You know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that I never thought that a Castle Light or a brand like that would bring someone like Young M.A. to SA, but for the love of hip-hop fans, we got to experience Young M.A. We actually got to experience females in hip-hop in SA. So it just says that sometimes people just need to open up to more genre.
Do you think that reggae music is something that you want to continue with?
Definitely.
Wow,
I love reggae music, and I like how when you listen to reggae music, it doesn't matter what sound you listen to, somehow you can relate to the message of the music.
Yeah, but now my question is that, or my concern is that, commercially in South Africa, we've got all of this, like, I don't know how, it's a whole lot of genre, from your deep house to amapiano, and there are a lot of them, and even the kwaito that was once relegated is being modified these days. And so, like, you've got a lot of challenges and everything. So how do you really think that you want to champion reggae music in a society, or in where commercially all of the radio stations don't even rock reggae music?
I think I'm quite different to artists that will focus on what's commercial. I believe I'm an artist, and an artist creates what they feel.
Exactly.
And some way out there's someone who will resonate with it. So, for example, I've to date have a song in a vast catalog. Like my recent single right now fuses amapiano, gom, jazz, kwaito, and electric.
Wow.
All in one song. You get what I'm saying? And I've actually also created a Spedi Gom track, because if you listen to Gom as much as it's usually sung in Zulu, which is not my home language. So what I'm saying is that we're in a space where you can create your own sound. So if people don't like reggae the way it is, you can always mix it and fuse it, and that's the best thing about art. You don't have to separate it, but if it has strong elements of something that someone likes, like can you even imagine yourself making a Gom reggae track? Who's done it? But you could do it and make people fall in love with that. No, it's a reggae, but I'm on a Gom beat, or I'm a piano. It's just about how you deliver the music and how you send the message out, because every song has a message. When we got Gom, we just thought like, hey, it's noise, everyone's knocking. But some of those songs have a message. There we go. Same with kwaito, So it goes back. You see what I mean? And at the end of the day, I'm a dancer. So a dancer, when you hear music, be it soul, be classical, be jazz, be funk, be whatever, you can always dance to music.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter how fast, it doesn't matter how slow. So I believe that's the way I look. My approach to music is that there's always someone out there that can consume it.
So how is your hip hop doing though?
My hip hop is doing good. Let me tell you why my hip hop is doing good. You can drop a beat and I'll freestyle in all the languages that I know. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I can also switch my hip hop into all these other genres that I mentioned. Because if you look at a genre, you can either take it and fuse it with what's already existing.
Exactly.
Right. So for me, my hip hop is still there, it's still really relevant, and that's why I'm excited about 2020, because 2020 people actually understand that my sound has shifted. As much as I'm doing gomo, I'm doing hip hop, I'm doing kwaito, I'm doing reggaeton. If you were to put in a disc and listen to my songs, I bet you're not gonna skip any track.
Your journey is so fascinating, and for the fact that you are able to understand that you need to expand to the other territory. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Speaking of the other territory, can you perhaps like remind your fans, where like, I know you mentioned those countries and everything, where possibly, your music right now is topping the charts.
Yeah. All right. Right now, firstly, would be here at home.
All right.
Firstly, my province where I come from, Limpopo.
Limpopo.
They showing me love.
They're
showing me love.
Yeah. Speaking of Limpopo, can you just touch? From this chart tapping to this award, please, can you combine both?
Snap. I think the most beautiful thing about this is, like, I mentioned the African tour, right? But before even going to the African part of it, I'm actually going to create another tour.
All right.
Just to celebrate home.
Okay.
I want to go to all different places in Polokwane and then expand on the artists that are there, because it's much.
Limpopo is your home place.
Yes, Limpopo. Because but when you look at Limpopo, there's so many artists. You have King Monada, that's from Molobedi. You have Sindita Mandebele, who is also from Polokwane. You have Cedric, that's also Tonga boy. You know, so there's so many languages. You have Shoma Josie.
And a lot of politicians as well.
So we're talking about the politics of music here. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that I just want to, in overall, be the spokesperson of my generation in all countries that are in Africa, and then to the world, because I believe that I'm an experience, I'm not a product. So for people to understand and experience me, I need to go out there so that they know what I'm about, being the live performances, being bands that are in all these countries. So I'm not just looking to work with brands, which is what I've been doing, but I'm looking to collaborate on a journey that's going to take the dancers that I groom from the townships, the dancers that I'm still going to meet on the way, the artists that I'm going to meet on the way, the different people that I'm going to meet on the way, and actually, you know what, connect with my brothers and sisters around the globe. And then hopefully, you know, we create the sprout where artists are not just feeling like, if I'm not being played on radio, I'm not heard, I'm not appreciated, because those days are gone. We live on the digital space. Yeah. We live on still the open word, spoken mouth, you know, so it's just a matter of creating movements and little spaces where people can grow and connect with other artists, because that's what we need in order to grow and be heard.
Exactly.
Worldwide.
Speaking of dance, though, you remind me, you know, how is the dance moves going? How is
the dance moves are going good. I'm actually planning a couple of workshops. Right. As I mentioned, when I was in Maputo, I actually collaborated with a dancer that side. So those visuals are going to be dropping quite soon, where they were just teaching me styles that are done in Maputo. As you know, dancers everywhere in the world have their own, kind of like in my country, this is what we do. Like in South Africa, we were popular for the gwara gwara at some point, you know, and in Nigeria and all the other countries, they were popular for the shaku shaku, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you name it, every country has its kind of like own form of artists, and that's exactly where my mindset is at. Go out there, collaborate on the music, collaborate on the dance, collaborate with anything that has to do with entertainment, because that's the thing, entertainment is forever.
Exactly.
And I wish people actually gave it a chance, because it doesn't matter where you go, you're always going to need entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell us about your trip to the Middle East or
Asia. I was in Thailand, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I firstly like the fact that the people there are very humble.
All right.
They're very patient. They are definitely not like...
Was it a dance tour or music tour?
No, actually, I was doing my DJ tour. Because people actually don't know I DJ as well. Yeah, I DJ as well. I'm actually...
You're slay, man. You're killing
I'm
us,
actually
man.
resuming my DJing gig guide from 2020.
Wow.
So, you know, instead of complaining that radio is not playing you as an artist, as a musician, go out there and do what the Double Trouble DJs do. I'm sure people know Major League will play a set and they'll play their music. So that's my approach with it. You know, I make music, let me be a DJ and let me put my own music in the mix.
Awesome, man. That's a great idea, man. So you were touring Thailand.
Yeah, I actually performed at 4 clubs there.
All right.
And obviously from the local spots. I just wanted to see how people vibe to our South African music.
Exactly.
And they actually loved it. You know, when you can see the restaurant or the bar owner or the club owner vibing to music that they don't even understand.
Exactly.
To some point, I actually took a tuk-tuk to the beach and I told the tuk-tuk driver, look, can I plug my music in? He was like, where you from? South Africa? I'm like, yeah, I'm from South Africa. I'm gonna play my music, right? He's like, snap, I'm gonna Google you. And I'm gonna let all the other tuk-tuk drivers play your music. So, hey, who knows? You'll be on a tuk-tuk in Thailand and they'll be playing a Chabarabon or a Mama Way or a Let It Be.
You know?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Awesome. Do you still collect sneakers though?
I still do. Got the dopest all the time, all day, every day.
Which one is this one now?
This one is exclusive Tom Tom, eh? I know people are thinking these are J's. These are actually called Tom Toms. They have a Jordan design, but they're called Tom Tom.
Wow.
So yeah.
Hopefully your name will be coming on sneakers very soon.
The whole idea is that, you know, a sneaker gallery is coming up.
All right.
An exclusive sneaker gallery / studio where artists will come and speak about their long walk. The sneakers an affiliation of walking their journey.
All right.
So yeah, that's the plan.
Wow.
Straight.
So how do you feel with the AKA thing and the Reebok thing? What's your how do you look?
Here's a beautiful thing about our time and being artists. I just actually did a collaboration now with La Coque Sportive for their summer range. So seeing what AKA is doing with Reebok is actually very dope, because it also just shows that music can now merge with brands and products of lifestyle, because as artists we want to look dope, we want to look fresh, and when you also associate it with a brand, it also just shows that your brand, you know, can be put on that platform. I mean, it's Reebok today, who knows who's going to collaborate with which brand tomorrow. So it also just shows that, you know, music is business, and when you look at your business and look at potential of it growing, you can do more with it. So you don't just look at streams and downloads and whatnot. You think of apparel, because music has the fashion division of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but my concern with that though, like, you know, someone like AK, wanna collaborate with the local fashion guys that are a couple of them, you know, from the guys that are doing the stockings and the other people that, you know, there are a couple of, you know, local designers that actually designing urban clothing as well. So my concern is that most of your South African artists, let me be very specific with this question, for a reason that you don't, like, you know, you don't put on the local hip hop clothing designers and all that.
Okay, from my personal journey of just, you know, observing AKA, I know back in the day, you know, there was a brand, it was actually from Cape Town. It was a local brand.
All right.
So AKA has actually worked with local brands. So I wouldn't say he's actually, for any artist, it's with the journey. You're obviously gonna start with your small local brands until you make the big brands. So I definitely know that AKA has worked with local designers from South Africa. So seeing the growth of different brands, because that's just the thing. The more your brand grows, you're going to work and collaborate with different brands.
And
so
possibly you too.
So this is what I see with other artists, including myself, where I've collaborated with brands from run JHB. They growing, you know. I run JHB. The last time I checked, DJ Plap Coffee was there to buy apparel from their store. I mean, I started with them when I was still dancing. I've moved on to brands like Converse. I've moved on to brands like Shesha, Bhutan, which is still SA brands. I'm still growing, you know. Tomorrow it could be a different brand. So brands also look at your growth and look at where they can help you. I mean, I just also early this year collaborated a bit when I was doing my shoot with Champion SA. So it just shows that brands are also looking, and when they say, hey, we like what you do, we're gonna, you know, we wanna collaborate, whether it's a social campaign. So you also need to be open to see, does your actual brand.
And how was your college tour last year? Or this year? Yeah, this year. So sorry.
The school tour will actually always continue. The great success about that is that you get to sit and talk to matriculants.
What was the theme? What's the concept?
So the concept with the career expos is just basically saying that not everyone will be academically ready to go into varsity or financially ready.
Career expo.
So I wouldn't. This is how we actually. I designed my part of the segment, because there's different institutes as well. So we actually do have institutes like your Bostons and your varsity colleges and all these different universities that also get to come and offer whatever courses they give. But what Delta the Leo actually offers to the whole tour per se is the talent, because people never look at nurturing talent. And if you nurture talent, you can also turn that into a business. You're good at speaking, you could look at being a motivational talker. You're good at creating beats, you could be the next potential producer.
Exactly.
You like listening, you could be the sound guy that listens to the volume. So we kind of get people or students to remember their skills. You're good at drawing, come draw portraits of artists and sell that, because at the end of the day, we're all looking to make a sustainable income with our talents or our education, because at the end of the day, whether you have a degree or you don't have a degree, you still need to survive, and that's the tools that you need to know. You need to hustle.
You could be a motivational speaker anyway.
I actually am.
Because when you break the stories down, you break it down like, I don't know, so smooth and everything.
So it just living in a third world country, we know that we don't always have the best opportunities, but we make the best of what is given to us. With the schools we go to the agencies that are around us. So I always say that how much can you maximize your face, your looks, the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you articulate yourself. There's a business for anything if you make it cool enough for someone else to pay for the service.
Delta DeLeo on the Morgis podcast, voice of the underground, holding it down like that. When we come back, we'll be talking about sahiphop award, up and coming. Voice of the underground. Voice of the underground. Promoting indie artists is our mission.
I'm here, right? Finally.
Let your music be heard. Welcome to another bumper edition of the Morgis podcast. Jay on the Morgis podcast.
Dudes try to get me, ladies try to be sexual.
Cause black is beautiful. I make music for lovers. I make music for pain. I make music for heroes, dreamers, believers, and slaves.
It's Saudi.
On the spotlight,
once
baby.
again.
Baby! Yeah!
Let your voice be heard too. Visit morgis.com for more info. Holla. What's cooking now?
What's cooking now?
Yeah.
Like, what do you call that?
Will you be there if I survive and arrive alive? Perfect. Should I survive to succeed my political ambition? Now put your trust in me. Be rest assured I'ma see you there. When I'm back, baby, when I'm back. You're the only one I love, you. Saying for my boy, girl. Now that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right, folks, welcome back from that breaking transmission. Stay tuned to the Morgis podcast, voice of the underground. Delta DeLeo holding it down today. Straight up. Straight up.
Yeah.
sahiphop award coming up.
Straight.
Where you at on that?
Where I'm at with that is that I've got so much music that I looked at it, I'm like, why do I submit? Why do I not submit? It's like, you know what? Let me miss this one. I know the right time for me to actually give people something to talk about.
Right.
I've been in studio, I've been cooking up something. So 2020, that's where you're gonna see me on every award, every list, because I'm in the kitchen. I'm baking some fire heat.
Right.
So yeah, for this one, I'm just, I'm gonna congratulate everyone that obviously made it through, and hopefully people vote, because we have this thing of having categories and people being nominated and people don't vote. So my message is that to whoever that has a favorite, whoever in whatever category, just vote. Don't just talk about you think whoever's dope. Show it in your votes. Spend money on the people you believe in, because at the end of the day, you're going to have your business one day and you're going to expect me to do the same and support your business. So support so you can get support back straight.
All right. And then one very good question. I know I'm gonna come back to this sahiphop award.
Yeah.
All right. Something that I need to get clear.
Yeah.
How is the radio station's attitude towards up and coming artists right now in South Africa?
It's really difficult because you either don't get feedback or you just don't get a reply.
Wow.
Which for me just feels like, can I just get, even if it's an automated message telling me, look, you weren't successful this time, submit again. All you get is that we received your music, but what happens thereafter, no one has an idea. And it's just very sad to listen to radio and hear the same music, the same people. Whether or not it's dope, it's another question, and then you go out there and for live performances and all these events that all artists, because I believe that events are also created by artists that want other artists to get a platform.
Exactly.
You find dope ass artists and you're like, why are you not on radio? I get asked all the time, it's like, why is radio not playing you? I'm like, nah, they'll catch up. I'm on a different move, I'm not focused on someone who is gonna judge me emotionally based on
Is
why
it a-
should I put you.
Is it a payola thing that's still going on?
It's probably it. I don't know,
Pay
but
to
I
play, oh.
but I ask myself this question all the time. If you're applying for a job, why you gotta pay for it when you're gonna put in the labor? Why am I paying for a job that I'm already gonna put my labor in? You have my CV,
Yeah,
which
but
is my music.
Yeah, but
right?
that's it. But that's even.
So why am I paying for this job? So it means I'm buying it.
It's
So am I really dope?
It's application fees. Man.
No man, that application fee don't make no sense because you know
Don't you do office
as a
research?
taxpayer, that's already I'm doing my part.
Don't you pay tax?
I pay tax,
That's
so
the thing.
so that's
the thing
enough.
You gotta pay on the radio station. That's
But
what I'm saying.
I pay my tax. I'm just saying, and you're getting a salary. So what do you want? You want extra money? I don't. You know. I'm just saying. You know, a lot of things we were given at no cost by our creator, whether we believe in a creator or not.
Or not, yeah.
And we do understand there's a cost for everything. I just believe that, you know, if I had a radio station, I'd just give talent away platform to just shine. Give platform, and if it rains, it rains. But I just believe that there's something that happens with.
And I even understand the community stations also have attitude these days also.
You get what I'm saying? I know there's rent to be paid, but if you play my music and somehow you generating money off of that, what more do you want from me? You get what I'm saying? I just feel like this is daylight robbery because
man.
you are out there, you know, with content. I'm giving you content because without my music, you don't have a show.
Content,
You get what I'm saying? And I'm not charging you for my content, but you want to charge me?
So now
Crazy.
let's use this question as the last one
Yeah.
on that very topic. So most of all of the cats or the artists that are playing their music on radio, what did you think they did right or what's going on? Because we really need to like open this whole thing up.
I just see that, you know, sometimes it's just pushing harder because maybe these radio stations are just wanting artists that are really serious, that are not just going to give them one single and vanish. So that could be one of it. I don't know. I don't work for a radio station. I don't know someone that can give you the 411 because chances are they won't. But I just believe that other artists, because if you actually look at song lists of many artists, they're all with record labels.
Exactly.
They're all with record
And
labels.
all
So-
of them international record label or something.
You get what I'm saying? So the labels either have a more drive or they have artists that they are sure will bring in money. I have no idea.
You know what?
Because I'm not signed, I'm independent as well. So I can only speak from my perspective, or I can speak from a point where an artist will tell me like there's a budget, so someone is funding me and I need to make sure that that money goes back to them. So they'll use that for marketing or PR or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, I just believe if you do what you love, it's gonna pay off.
Most definitely, definitely. You know, this is one question that like eats me like a cankerworm. You know, why all of the, let me say, independent record label that try to set up in South Africa, they don't stand up? Where's my Bella Noise and where's the other cats? Or, you know, any hip hop. Even if it's a sub record label,
it becomes tricky when you are an artist and you are focusing on the artistry and you're also focusing on the business side and you're starting to learn certain things. I believe that when you're great or you're good or you're talented, you'll always be a threat, number one. And then number two, you have the business side of things where some things are open enough to the public and some are not. So I, again, cannot speak for a record label unless if I work for a record label, I can tell you. This is actually why an artist who's signed gets to get radio play. There are checkbox that I get.
No, my question is it's actually directed at a record label.
Yeah, I wish record labels could actually educate.
Why don't they stand? Like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like, you know, from my own perspective, I'm not seeing like any local record label that is out there.
And maybe that's a question that needs to be posed either to our Samaros at the panel of this, because Samaro has a lot of discussions.
Does Samurai actually have artists though?
Samaro has artists because if you think about
Do they
it,
help artists in any ways? Do they actually give royalty to artists?
here's the thing. On my side, I've seen the assistance of Samro. I'm seeing the little bit of changes. Like if you think about artists before didn't have a funeral plan. I don't know if you know. If you're an artist now, Yeah, it's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Samro has designed
A
a
funeral
policy.
plan.
No, basically a policy in which some of your royalty will probably go into that plan.
But that's.
So
Are you sure that money is safe with them?
Look, all I'm saying is that as a Samro member, you have a membership. So as an artist in South Africa, you need your Samro membership, number one.
Yeah, like
so,
you said,
so
you're forced to do it.
yeah,
You
so
can't get into the system without it.
so that Samro code. So if you have a manager or a family relative, if they go there, because remember, you're still alive. If you're still alive and you have all your records, everything is documented. They actually email you now. Like I have a statement of my Samro whatnot policy. So should I pass on, be it my spouse or my family member, they can just go with my details and obviously my death certificate to Samro and produce that in order to get aid. Depending how much, because remember, we mustn't forget that Samro collects as much as you work. So if I'm not working, I'm not going to accumulate money. But the way things are going right now, a lot of work is about to go out there. They're about to know about me.
Beautiful.
They're about to know.
Congratulations on that, man. A lot of things going on, man.
Straight
up, man. Let's go back to SA Hip Hop Award. You know, I just want to talk about. I don't know if you know the artists that are being nominated for.
Well, I know the female category. That's the only category I look at. Yeah. I know Gigi Lamaine is in there. I know Nadia Nakai is in there. I know. Who else am I forgetting? But basically, you know, when I looked at the ladies that are nominated in the category, these are the ladies that have been working, you know. So it doesn't. I don't like to cry foul play where there isn't, but I also believe that when you're going to enter any music awards, you need to make sure that your work also speaks of your resilience. So in terms of the female, I'm happy with the category. I'm happy to see that list of female. Even through the years, I've loved that females always put themselves out there, because we all know with hip hop there's always a challenge. It's just always with females penetrating and making a mark. So just having the females representing there, it's a proud moment, you know. I believe the moment you're being nominated, you're all winners, but we still know we want to rank someone. Talent is talent, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Just because someone lost to Adele to the Leo doesn't mean they're less talented. It just means, you know, she just took this one in terms of voting.
Next year.
You know, there's always next year, exactly. And that's why I'm saying next year, 2020, I believe Delta the Leo is going to be on that
You've got a lot of experience in the music business and the music industry. How can independent artists and independent record label find a way to survive, to create an industry for themselves? What do you think they should do?
I say create opportunities. Anyone that knows Delta the Leo, I will host events out of my own pocket.
Good.
And I'm not looking on return, I'm looking at the platform. Because within that platform, those artists are going to collaborate, and from their collaborations, they probably will be booked for something else.
Good.
And being exposed, whether be it to a corporate, be it being on a commercial, be it being on a show, being interviewed, the more people are being exposed to you, the more you're being noticed. So that in the long run, you don't always make money now. You won't always get booked now. But when you start being booked, is because it's those small things that you did. It's that small stage you were performing on. It's that energy that someone captured your video, posted it on Facebook. You know, it's like I think about an ad that I did last year, December. It's sitting on 8.2 million views, you know. And the beautiful thing about it is that some people that recognize me in that ad reshared it.
Exactly.
So now other people will reshare it because, hey, isn't she the girl that makes music? So being an independent artist, don't just look at art, music. Look at what your music can do for other art industries. Yeah. So because looking at yourself as an entertainer, there's a big umbrella. You don't only have to perform for your hip hop people. Go to weddings, go to your friends, cousins' parties. You'll be surprised that when you do your own song, people will throw 10 rands at you. That's how I started with the dancing. I used to dance in the hood and people would just throw money. You put that together, it could give you 1 hour of a studio recording session.
Exactly.
You don't know, but save up and use your money back into your brand, because that's the only way you're going to grow.
Any brand new thing that you want to get out of your chest right now?
What I would like to get out is that, you know what, radio stations, brands, whoever you are, do look at talent. We're chasing popularity to a point that we're forgetting that there is still pure talent that is looking for a platform. Let's give talent the space and the recognition it needs. I'm not saying people that are popular don't have talent, but can we not can we not run with popularity? Because some people have the numbers but they lack the talent, and talent is waiting, saying, look, I'm here, I'm ready to push. So let's be fair in our platform and who we give these platforms, and let's be realistic that at the end of the day we are, and there is enough for all of us to be united and grow within the entertainment space.
That's Delta De Leo. And then a new product, like your new music.
Well, I've dropped a new single, like I mentioned, titled Mama Way, with all the influences, which is actually also available for MTN and Vodacom users to get as a caller tune.
All right.
Currently, we obviously will have it streamed on around 232 digital stores.
All right.
I mean, your normal contenders, your iTunes, Google Play, Deezer, Spotify, you
Moji's
name it.
Music.
Yeah, there we go, Moji's Music.
Exactly.
And I should be shooting Chabarabona, the music video, this month.
All right.
Just between the 23rd or the end of this month. I'm also going to be hosting a workshop, sharing my experience on how you can actually earn an income being an independent artist, and certain platforms where you actually don't need to pay to get yourself involved, but you can get revenue for your music.
All right.
So I'll be sharing my personal tricks that I use, that I believe other artists, just positioning your brand, the way you look, the way you speak, the way your portfolio, your digital APK, your press release, how your photographs are taken. Because at the end of the day, if someone doesn't know you and they look at your photo, it needs to say, I want to see that person, or I need to book that person. So I'll just be talking about small things that you do within your space. Because some people always complain about money, I don't have opportunities. You round up 10 of your friends, you sit down, you tell them what you do and how you know how to do it. 10 will 10, 20 will tell. You get what I'm saying? We're just building a pyramid of knowledge and sharing what we know. How to get interviews, how to get music, either on radio, get yourself on Mogi's. How do you get yourself on the Mogi's podcast? So, yeah, man. I'll be partnering with various brands as well to also just motivate, because a lot of people, I think it's just easy to have a brand give you product, or have a brand give you shout out. And what do you do to be more appealing, using social media as a platform to attract those people, and also not be discouraged when you don't have the right followers. You just keep building, as you understand that anything worth having takes time, and it takes a sacrifice.
And on top of that, you've got an African tour coming up next year.
Straight.
Awesome,
It's
man.
a busy 2020.
That's a 20.
Before I even forget, I'm actually performing at the Dragon Festival in Drakensberg, which is the Eastern Cape.
Right.
You check it out. There's quite big artists that have performed on that specific festival. So it's actually exciting for me, because I'm getting to actually take my dancers, my DJs, my whole team with, and giving them that experience to say we are growing. We are in Drakensberg, Eastern Cape. We're probably hitting the African tour. We're going to hit the international tour. It's just also giving back and working with people who are talented in the community, and saying, if you're an aspiring DJ, if you're an aspiring dancer, if you're an aspiring videographer, filmmaker, whatever it is, let's tell our stories by working together.
Pure heart, man. Pure heart, straight from the heart. If you're an animal, what kind of animal that would have been?
I'm a
You're
lion.
a lion. Wow.
I'm a lion. You're not sure if you need to give me a hug or you need to run away, but when a lion roars, you hear me. As I always say when I spit my 16s, I'm the only lioness you gotta know. I'm the real Mufasa.
She roars like that.
Straight up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Delta De Leo, Moji's podcast, voice of the underground.
Respect.
Peace.